And we're back with another episode of MMMTG. And today we have the brand new Commander Legends Battle for Baldur's Gate set. I've got a set booster box right here. This whole set in general, months ago, wildly anticipated. Everyone loves the original Commander Legends and what it had to offer. This one, at this point, as the set is coming out, I've heard, I guess, mixed reception. I'm personally, I'm kind of holding out for, what cards end up being good. It happens every set, new stuff. Some cards end up being really good. Some cards were maybe rated a bit too highly before the set comes out, things like that. But there are definitely cards that I'm looking for, cards that are some pretty okay reprints and things like that. But I mean, for any set, before I just I like this set or I don't, you want to open it, right? So I got this set booster box, and I'm going to go ahead and open that up and kind of get some ideas going, see maybe some commanders I want to do, or maybe some cards that I didn't see. I mean, man, this set's pretty big. Like, every time I look at the spoilers or people start talking about stuff, like cards that I didn't even know will come up, like you always miss something. So without further ado, we're gonna get into this one. I think this is these are set booster boxes, 18 packs this time, so a bit interesting choice. But we will see what we have. So they come with one of these inserts. The new Capenna boxes had these as well, but they had the box topper on them. That just has a piece of paper. So why not? Some packs. Switching it up. Alrighty. Alright, so I guess I'm gonna put these over here and start from the left. There's a few cards that I think are pretty interesting. Oh, got a list card. See what that is. We got Aaaaand or Aldondo. I don't know how to say. I don't know how to pronounce all the cards yet. Still need to look at that. Oops, I got Command Tower. It's the first usable card, I think. Commons and uncommons. I heard that this format for draft is really fun, but I haven't had a chance to do it yet. So we got Jaheira, Friend of the Forest. I think this one's pretty sweet. You can I don't know all the backgrounds yet, so I can't tell you what's the best combination to run with that. But tokens you control being able to add green, very similar to Rishkar type effects, which is always really good in Commander. Oh, well, here's one background you could use: Agent of the Iron Throne. Whenever artifact or creature you control is put in the graveyard from the battlefield, each opponent loses 1 life. That could work. Your tokens go to the graveyard. Why not? We got a full etched Commander Liara Porter. 5 mana, 5/3. Whenever you attack, spells you cast from exile this turn cost X less to cast, where X is the number of players being attacked. Exile top X cards in your library until end of turn. You may cast spells from among the exiled cards. That one, I mean, it seems fine. One of those multiplayer matters kind of cards. So a lot of people were telling me to check out the full etch. I think depending on where your thing was printed, that the full etching may look a little bit different. This looks fine to me. Pretty standard full etch. Maybe not as dynamic as the Kamigawa ones that I was seeing before, but looks pretty good. I think there's a little bit of, I don't know, a minor scuffing right out of the pack, which is kind of unfortunate, but not unusual. And we have, Morphic Pool. Very cool, very cool. One of those reprints. And we got a Graveborn Muse, one of the quintessential zombie tribal cards. Doesn't really play zombies, but always cool to have. But yeah, so these are some of the reprints that you're looking for in the set. Those Battle Bond lands. I remember when they came out and everyone was looking for them from that. Battle Bond itself, I felt like it just kind of came and went, but those lands have been very sought after for a long time. This guy, I don't really play the diamonds, but some people do. Inspiring Leader, another background. Commander creatures you own have creature tokens of +2/+2. So that looks like that's almost naturally made for the for the one we have. Oh, this is the little bunny commanders. Whenever it hits a player, you get 1/1 white rabbit token for each token you control. So that's pretty fun. It's pretty good. Works really well with the other one. Smart commons. Guild Artisan. Whenever this creature attacks a player, if no opponent has more life than that player, you create 2 treasure tokens. Alright. I don't really know what to say about that. Nine Fingers Keen. I was kind of interested. This is another one that has a little bit of scuffing on the bottom, but it is what it is. This is one I was interested in because it's obviously a Gates commander, but it's designed in an interesting way because obviously you're playing this as your commander. You're using the new Gates and some of the old Gates. Like, I feel like to activate this ability, which is that if you deal combat damage to a player, you look at the top 9 cards, you could put a Gate in on the battlefield from them, and if you have 9 or more other Gates, you could put all the other cards in your hand. So this card, I feel like in these colors, it's gonna force you to dig a little bit more to find the amount of Gates to make the other part of the ability go off. But it is a 4-mana 4/4 in Sultai Colors of Menace, and it has Ward 9 life. So I thought this might be interesting, just almost as like, play it as a Voltron commander, just have Ward 9 life and make it that much harder to deal with this. It's an idea. A lot of cards have alternative ways to play them. And 2 for 2 on the Battle Bond lands, which is cool. That's Sea of Clouds. Cool to just... This set is a good way to, I guess, rack up a bunch of those if you missed Battle Bond or never really got any of them. I guess they had them in Zendikar Rising as expeditions, so I probably have a bunch in there, but those are obviously some of the cheaper of the expeditions in that set. But yeah, let's keep on rolling. A lot of these cards seem to have like scratching, I guess, on the outside of them. So we have Asterion the Decadent. He's a 6-mana 4/4 with Death Touch and Lifelink. Do we have your end step? Choose one. You can feed, which is target opponent loses life equal to the amount of life they lost this turn, or friends. You gain life equal to the amount of life you gain this turn. So Sanguine Bond kind of thing. Your choice, your commander is one of the 2 enchantments in that combo. It happens once a day. I think it's pretty good. It's like a Wound Reflection, right? Just another one of those black-white life gain, life loss commanders. I don't know if he's better than, like, say, Karlov or something like that, but I'm sure people are going to go ahead and try him out and see what happens. And we have Master Chef. This commander creatures you control have this creature enters the battlefield with additional encounter on it, and other creatures you control enter the battlefield with additional encounter on them. Another one that might be good with the Jaheira that we got earlier. That would put you in like a mono green deck, but not bad, not bad. Emoan Mystic Trickster, 3-mana 2/3, Ward 2. At the beginning of your end step, if you have the initiative, draw a card, draw another card if you've completed a dungeon, and you get a background. Okay. Oh. Wow. So we 3 for 3 on these Battle Bond lands. Okay. I got Bountiful Promenade. I like how they're all different too. That is pretty nice. Pretty sweet right there. Jeez. Yeah, those are like all from the same. They were on the right side of the box originally, I believe, and they're just in the top there. So I don't know if that means anything or if that's just incredibly lucky, I guess. But yeah, there you go. Just racking up the Battle Bond lands. Alrighty. Let's see. So I got the Undercity there. I think this is Nihira or Nira. So a lot of these cool commons and uncommons. I don't really want to spend like a ton of time going through all of them, but maybe some notable ones. Another background card. Commander creatures you own have at the beginning of your end step. If a source you control dealt 5 or more damage this turn, create a 4/4 red dragon. Yeah, okay. I think that's one of the ones I guess more meant for limited. We have Candlekeep Sage, another background, 3-mana. Commander creatures you own have when this enters or leaves the battlefield, draw a card. Not bad, not bad. It could help you get blue in your deck if you're using a background commander, and just simply isn't horrible. We have Bane, Lord of Darkness. I know this one. 4-mana 5/2, and it has the clause that most of the gods this time around have, where if your life total is less than or equal to half your starting life total, it has indestructible. So it's indestructible sometimes. It's a 4-mana 5/2. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, target opponent may have you draw a card. If they don't, you may put a creature card with equal or lesser toughness from your hand into the battlefield. An interesting card. Like, it reads pretty well. It's gonna be one of those things that forces your opponents to play in a certain way, kind of like Athreos. But with this one, they probably won't let you draw a card, like, because you said they're. assuming that you won't have a card to put down. So maybe occasionally you'll trick in a card from your hand, save some mana, get something in, maybe at instant speed. But I think most of the time, this guy's not going to do a ton. But I'd love to be wrong, so we'll see how good he is going forward. We got a foil Sky Diamond. It's pretty cool looking. I'm not usually a fan of this D&D artwork, the book artwork, I guess it's called, or manual. I don't know what it's called, but the showcase this time. I just personally I didn't play D&D when the books, or I don't play much of D&D at all actually. But got Wilson. Got a 2-mana 2/2, can't be countered, Vigilant Sweep, Trample, War 2, background. Cool. It just doesn't do a lot for me, and I think sometimes the art's really nice, and then sometimes it's like just less detailed than Magic art normally is, which is kind of disappointing. We have Raphael, Fiendish Savior. I like this card a lot. He's a 5-mana 4/4 flying. All your other demons, devils, imps, tieflings get 1/1 and lifelink. And beginning of your end step, if a creature card was put into your graveyard from anywhere, create a 1/1 devil that has lifelink. I think it's really cool. I think you can just do a tribal deck. Maybe probably mostly demons with this guy, because demons are pretty powerful. But you're probably gonna have some devils and devil tokens coming out. A couple imps are pretty good. I don't know too many tieflings you're gonna want to play, because they'll probably be exclusively from the D&D sets and stuff. But yeah, I mean, just simply being a lord that gives lifelink on kind of creatures that are already flying and big is pretty strong. And then you're going to be able to make some devils that'll make the board a little bit harder to deal with. I got another background. This one says, commander creatures you own have at the beginning of your upkeep X the top card library, plus X plus O. Until a turn where X is a card's mana value, you may play that card this turn. Okay. I think most of the backgrounds, I mean, I don't know, I don't think too many of them are going to be, except for like the mythic ones, are going to see a lot of play. This is an interesting one. So we have Dinahir, Invoker Adept. She's a 4-mana 4/4 in Jeskai. She has haste, and you may activate abilities of other creatures you control as though those creatures have haste. So she's like a 1,000-year elixir, and you can tap. Next time you activate activate an ability this turn by spending 4 more mana to activate it. Copy it. You may choose new targets for the copy. So you have like Chaos 1. Maybe like, what's that card from Zendikar Rising? Lithoform Engine. Literally big splashy effects that you pay a lot of mana for. Just do it twice. It's probably going to be on artifacts more often than not, but I'm sure there's some good ones in red, white, and blue as well. We have Fraying Line. Like I said earlier, I've never seen this card. Fraying Line, 4-mana artifact. When it enters the battlefield, put a rope counter on target creature you control. Beginning of each player's upkeep, the player may pay 2. If they do, they put a rope counter on a creature they control. Otherwise, exile the line and each creature without a rope counter on it. Okay, so that's pretty funny. So it's kind of like the false floor from New Capenna. It's like everybody, you're kind of putting rope counters all over the place, and then that's when the hole bottoms out, only ones with ropes get to survive. That's pretty cool. It's pretty clever design, and then you get to play this maybe in colors like mono red that don't have like hard board wipes, that only like damage ones and stuff. You can run artifact ones like Oblivion Stone and that. We have Basilisk Scholar, a classic reprint, probably lost most of its value here. Just a ton of damage on the bottom here, or it's like extra. Oh man, very unfortunate. And we got just a round foil, but yeah, happy to see Basilisk Collar, not happy to see it in that condition, but it is what it is. We got another list card coming right up. That one's funny. I like that. So let's see what we got. We got Mazzy, True Sword Paladin. It's a 4-mana 3/4. Whenever an enchanted creature attacks one of your opponents, it gets +2/+0 and gains trample to return. Whenever an aura you control is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, exile it until the end of your next turn. You may cast that card. So, just kind of a Voltron maybe, or almost, not like all in one. You can put your auras on different creatures with this, because it'll allow you to not lose them. One of the classic weaknesses of Voltron kind of decks is that enchantments just all go to the graveyard, or the auras go to the graveyard when the creature leaves. So this kind of helps mitigate that, I guess, as long as you're not putting it on Mazzy specifically. It's probably going to be pretty strong. I'm interested to see where people go with it. Not really probably going to build that until I see what are the better ways to do it, because I don't really know. But we have Agent of the Iron Throne. We had that earlier. That's what we're talking about that with the token commander. We have Cloakwood Hermit, 2 and a green. It's a commander creatures you own have the beginning of your end step. If a creature card was put into your graveyard from any turn, create 2 tapped squirrel. Another squirrel card. Probably one of the better ones for limited, but I don't see this one being super useful in normal commander. We have Under Mountain Adventurer. It's a 4 mana 3/4 with vigilance, and as it enters the battlefield, you take the initiative, and then you can tap, add green. If you completed a dungeon, add 6 green instead. If you don't know, the initiative is just like venture into the dungeon, but instead of venturing into the dungeon, you're venturing into the Undercity, which is just a new dungeon. I think I should have a token for it around here somewhere. Kind of really messily left everything over here, but here we go. We got the Undercity. So you can't enter the dungeon unless you venture to the Undercity, and then you get to go to the entrance, get basic land. You get to move either to the left or the right and go down it. I believe the initiative has slightly different rules than venture into the dungeon. I think it's like, oh nice. I think it has something to do with like kind of similar to the Monarch. You have Baldur. You have 5 mana 5/5 flying. Whenever it attacks or dies, choose 1 or more. Each mode must target a different player. Target opponent draws 3 cards. This card is at random. Target opponent sacrifices a non-token artifact and deals damage to target opponent equal to the number of cards in their hand. So pretty good, pretty good. This is a really sweet one. Works well with our Devil Demon Commander from earlier. And yeah, pretty happy to see this one. And we got a foil of the Rabbit Bunny Commander. We didn't get the token yet. And we have Unholy Grotto. You can tap it to put a zombie card on top of your from your graveyard on top of your library. Not sure what's up with the list and the zombie cards this time. Oh, we got a little explanation of the initiative here. Whenever one or more creatures whenever one or more creatures a player controls the combat damage to you, the player yeah, that's what I thought. So it's kind of like the Monarch. You can take the initiative away. Then they could start venturing into the Undercity. Let's see. We got a foil, signed cards, pretty cool. So we're gonna continue on. Manifold Key. Oh, I was gonna say it's a good reprint. Another good reprint. That's one of the benefits of these kind of sets. They'll reprint like really good stuff that come uncommon that are staples that you can never really get enough of. This guy's pretty cool. Rasad Yin Bashir. 3 mana, 0/3. Each creature you control assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. Whenever it attacks, if you have the initiative, double the toughness of each creature you control until end of turn. Choose background. Okay, pretty cool, pretty cool. Another toughness commander. Always fun, always fun. Run them in like Arcades or something. Scion of Halaster, 2 mana. Commander creatures you own have the first time you draw a card each turn, so look at the top 2 cards of the library, put one of them in your graveyard, and the other back on top, then draw a card. Interesting. We have Safana, Kalimport Cutthroat, 3 mana, 3/2 menace. At the beginning of your end step, if you have the initiative, create a treasure token. Create 3 of those tokens instead if you complete a dungeon. Choose back. Alright, cool. Oh, nice. This is one of the chase cards from this set. Then I dropped it. Alright, I'm just going to go ahead and skip that. One of the chase cards from the set. People have been talking a lot about this one. People are really excited, saying like, you know, the kind of the dragon synergy you can do with it, the cool, how far ahead you can get in commander with it, the fact that of the cycle of these mythic dragons, that's 6 mana, kind of easier to get to. You can give it haste and red. All in all, very sweet. It's another addition to your Elder Tribal deck that you could build. Very happy to see it. I don't know exactly which one of my decks I'm going to put it in, but very happy. So cool. Pretty good box so far, I'd say. Jan Jansen, Chaos Crafter. 3 mana, 3/3 haste. You could sack an artifact creature, create 2 treasures, and sacrifice a non-creature artifact, create 2/1/1 colorless construct. So, interesting design space for Mardu. I mean, it is sacrifice and artifacts, which I guess black and red could do. But it is interesting that there are Mardu commanders that don't just attack or have, you know, some kind of life loss, extra power thing. You know, and I like seeing stuff like that. Let things be different. So Fireball. Oh, Wayfarer's Bauble. Pretty cool. Banishment. It's another interesting one. That's a new card. It's a kind of O-ring that... It's like a detention sphere. Flash, instant speed. Will hit the stuff that all your opponents have. So, pretty cool, pretty cool. Reprint a Gate Colossus. Right. Another background Veteran Soldier. Whenever this creature attacks a player, if no opponent has more life than that player, for each opponent, create a 1/1 soldier token that's tap attacking. It's probably okay. Duke Older, Ravengard. This is the guy that's being a combat on your turn, another target creature control gains haste and myriad. I think this is pretty cool. You're going to see people with pretty busted builds doing stuff like this, giving creatures like Inferno Titan, Sun Titan, or Eldrazi Titans, or anything like that. Myriad is very strong. Haste just makes it all that much faster. I think you're going to see this as a pretty fun and interesting commander going forward. We have Shameless Charlatan. 2 mana, legendary enchantment. Background, commander creatures you own have 3. This becomes a copy of another target creature. Interesting effect, but I mean, I don't know why. I mean, you want your commander to be something else. I don't know. We have Ball, Lord of Murder. We got 5 mana, 4/4. As long as your life total is less than or equal to half your starting life total, Ball, Lord of Murder has indestructible. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, put a 1/1 counter on target creature and goad it. So you could, I mean, obviously it's one of those gods that become indestructible at a certain point, and whenever you're sacrificing things or your creatures are dying, you could, you know, buff your creatures, or you could make your opponent's creatures bigger and force to attack your opponents, which is it's an interesting gameplay, especially for these colors. I'm interested to see kind of how this goes. This is one of the cards when the set was spoiled that I was interested in, and I want to see how this works in practice, especially with some of the cool Riveteer cards like Riveteer Ascendancy that they just made. So pretty cool to see. Pretty cool to see. Now I think I know this one. I think it's so whenever it's like knowledgeable for creatures, right? It's a 4 mana artifact. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield, if it was cast, exile it, and return all other permanent cards exiled with Mirror of Life trapping to the battlefield under the owner's control. Yeah, it's kind of like a less breakable or busted knowledge pool. It's just creatures. It's kind of what knowledge pool I guess wanted to be. Just a funny thing where your opponent has to play with, or you and your opponents have to play with each other's creatures and things like that. We got an art card for Tasha. I do hope to get a copy of Tasha. I think the card looks pretty fun. So, oh, Deadly Dispute. Very good reprint. People have been looking for that all the time. Let's see. Merry Thief. 3 mana, 3/2. Whenever you attack, up to one target attacking creature can't be blocked this turn. Return that creature's owner's hand beginning of the next step. Interesting. Okay. We got another commander. We got Inspiring Leader again. We have a Showcase of Flaming Fist. It's 3 mana. Background, commander creatures you own have when another creature attacks, it gains double strike. Not bad. I'm not sure which one of the background commanders this would really work best with, but it is not horrible for what it is. The Council of 4. It's 5 mana, 08. When a player draws their second card during their turn, you draw a card. When a player casts their second spell during their turn, you create a 2/2 White Knight. This is interesting. I feel like it's just not taxing enough that people will largely ignore it, and then it's unassuming that enough that you'll kind of be able to snowball away. I think this is actually a pretty good one, and 08 is just, I mean, it's a good blocker. it kind of wants you to play a very slow game, which kind of sucks. So I'm interested. You have to have an interesting strategy outside of that to win the game after you get all your value. Moonhold. What is this? 3 mana, target player can't play lands this turn if red was spent to play it, and can't play creatures cards if white was spent to play it. Wow, okay. This is an interesting one. I've never really seen this. Is kind of a weird silence. Like if you also feel that you want to stop your opponents from playing lands. Wow. It's a target player too, so you screw one person. Like you're not playing creatures or lands this turn. I'm interested to see if anybody uses that or if that's useful in any particular. Oh, there's a lot of Orbs of Dragonkind there. There's 3 of them. Let's see. Sacrifice another creature or artifact. This creature deals 1 damage to any target. Not bad, not bad. We got Will, Blade of Frontiers. He's a 2 mana 1/1. If you roll one or more dice, instead roll that many dice plus 1 and ignore the lowest roll. Or if you roll one or more dice, put a 1 counter on it. Okay. You gotta choose a background. So this could be a potential dice rolling commander. It's probably pair it with one of the blue backgrounds, I assume. We already saw this one. We have Ellen Harbury's Buzzy Body. 4 mana, 2/4. Tap. Look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the number of tokens you created this turn. Put one of those cards into your hand and the rest in the bottom of your library in a random order. Choose a background. Okay. Just a little card draw for a token commander. Not bad, not bad. We have a monster manual. It's a new kind of Elvish Piper effect. It's on an artifact, which makes it a little bit harder to kill. So you can pay for, have an artifact, you can tap 2, put a creature from your hand to the battlefield. Always pretty cool. I like that this one, because it's an artifact, you can technically do it right away, when most of the other effects like this are, they have summoning sickness. It also has an adventure. You tap 3 mana, you can mill 5 cards and return a creature card, mill this way to your hand. Pretty cool, pretty cool. That's the wrong spot. Got all kinds of these classic messy piles. Classic. So let's keep it on rolling. Got Boo. Alrighty. Now that I've seen a lot of these commons uncommons, we can kind of roll through it. It's a rare background. 2 mana. Commander creatures you own have. Whenever one or more creatures you control do a combat to a player, go target creature player control. There it is. Goading again. This is one of the earlier spoilers of the set. The Zevlor. He's a 4 mana 4/2 haste. You can pay 2, tap it whenever you next cast an instant or sorcery spell that targets a single opponent or a single permanent an opponent controls. This turn, for each other opponent, choose that player or permanent they control, copy that spell, copy targets the chosen player or permanent. So, targeting one person with your spell, it's kind of giving the spell myriad in a way. Pretty cool. I'm interested to see if that is that combo-y, is that just value? A lot of these, it's like, I feel like I haven't seen all this has to offer it. You know what I mean? Like, people, a lot of times after a set comes out, just come up with these really crazy, cool ideas, and then you need to wait just a little bit, just to see what's really good. It's almost better to, let's do an opening a little bit later as well and see if the opinions change on certain things. We have Gorian, Wise Mentor. This is the 3 mana 3/4 with Vigilance. So whenever you cast an adventure, you may copy it. You can choose your targets for the copy. Pretty cool. Let's see. Let's make sure guys unblockable. This is a Noble Heritage. It's a legendary background. When this creature enters the battlefield at the beginning of your upkeep, each player may put 2 counters on a creature they control. For each opponent who does, you gain protection from that player until your next turn. So, pretty cool. We got Minsk and Boo, Timeless Heroes. It's a 4 mana, 3 loyalty planeswalker. When it enters the battlefield at the beginning of your upkeep, you may create Boo, a legendary 1/1 red hamster creature token with trample and haste. You can +1, put 3 1/1 counters on up to 1 target creature with trample or haste. You may -2, sack a creature. When you do, it deals X damage to any target where X is the creature's power. If the sacrificed creature was a hamster, draw X cards. So, very funny design, very cool. People like it. Minsk can do a lot. This can be your commander as well. It's an interesting red-green, power and toughness and sacrifice commander. So, I think this will be pretty fun in general. Okay. List card is Outlaw's Merriment. Is that my mythic list card? Oh man, Outlaw's Merriment, huh? Oh, one of the least notable cards from Eldraine. What a set that was. Let's see what we can get. Ooh, Arcane Signet, another great reprint. Thrakus the Butcher, double the power of each dragon you control on a turn when it attacks. Pretty good. Double Tavern Brawler and Blade of Selves. Interesting. Okay. Another cool reprint. Got that right there. Already had a copy of that. This is another Myriad card. You can run it in that new Myriad Commander or any other decks that don't have access to that red-white guy that lets you have Myriad for your creature. Pretty cool. Works good with Ishin. Both those cards look good in Ishin decks, right? Or, I don't know. Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. I guess it depends how you build it, really. I didn't even know they reprinted this Geode Golem. Very, very good card. A Meteor Golem too. Pretty good card. Boom. Keeping that stuff. Oh, we got the full etch of the card from earlier. And we got Asterion again. Alright. That makes it easy. Already seen those cards. Don't need to talk about them. Oh, we good. Go ahead with these. Let's see. Ooh, Lightning Bolt. Lightning Bolt. Very good reprint. Always good to have more Lightning Bolts out in the world. Well, I like that this is a Commander Legends set, but Lightning Bolt is, you know, obviously it's a more modern legacy vintage kind of card. So I'm happy to see that they are including at least a few things for formats besides Commander in this. I opened this earlier, didn't I? I didn't even notice it. Format 2/4, Devour Intellect. When it enters the battlefield, each opponent exiles a card from their hand until it leaves. You can play lands and cast spells from among them. If you cast a spell this way, you must have mana of any color. Okay, pretty cool. Gale, Waterdeep Prodigy, 3 mana 1/3. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell from your hand, you may cast up to one target card of the other type from your graveyard. If a spell is cast from your graveyard this way, put it in your graveyard, exile it instead. Cool. Gets another background card. When you end step, create a treasure for each token that died this turn. So it's kind of like Gadrick a little bit. Oh, we got the Ancient Gold Dragon. 7 mana, 7/10. Pretty cool. And whenever it deals combat damage to player, you get roll a d20 and you create a number of a 1/1 blue fairy dragon creature tokens with flying equal to the result. Pretty cool. Happy to see that. Obviously not as like splashy as the red one, but I mean, get that out and you hit your opponent, get a high roll, then that could end the game, you know. Imagine that with like Cathar's Crusade or something, just massive board just straight up out of nowhere. So pretty cool. Oh, she got muffins, that's funny. Curious to see how this box kind of finishes out. We got OG, the Exquisite Blades, 4 mana 2/3. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 2 life. Scry 2. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, exile the 1 target creature you control and return to the battlefield under its owner's control. Cool. We have the Mighty Servant of Luke-O, 3 mana 6/6. Trample with Ward, discard a card. Whenever it becomes crewed for the first time each turn, if it was crewed by exactly 2 creatures, it gains none of this deals combat damage to a player. Draw 2 cards on a turn. And it's crewed 4. This is pretty good. I think it's good for vehicle decks. I think it's not bad, just kind of in general, if you depending on what level of commander you're kind of playing. Yeah, pretty sweet in general. Unfortunately, it has a little bit of that little damage on the bottom, but no worries on that. Oh, got the reprint of Traverse the Outlands. Interesting card, very unassuming when it was very first printed. Took a few years and it kind of spiked. People realized that, you know, this could get you really far in the game of Commander if cast at the right time. So pretty cool. Nice to see them printing stuff like that again. We got a Raphael Fiendish Savior, the foil showcase. I think this art's pretty cool. Like I said, sometimes these arts are a little bit less detailed than normal Magic arts. Sometimes it works really well, sometimes it doesn't. I kind of like this one. And I think, like I said earlier, he's a pretty fun commander. I think it'll be really cool. So I'm happy to see this one in the foil showcase. And we got O Naginata, a list reprint. Not super exciting, but alas, that is the list from this set, I suppose. Got 2 zombie cards in my O Nagita. Let's see. Oh, got a new Chaos Warp kind of thing. Destroy target permanent opponent controls. Reveals cards to the top of the library until they reveal a permanent card. It shows the card type of the permanent. Then they put the battlefield and the rest on the bottom of their library in a random order. So pretty cool. 9 Fingers Keen again. This makes your commander being inside exile 1 target tapped creature you control and turn to the battlefield under its owner's control. I think that's not bad. Ooh, interesting. Aaaaand the Seer. So this is one that is very powerful. So it's got a kind of abusable tap draw ability similar to Selvala, but it's in green and blue instead of green and white. So if you have ways to tap, untap, like Intruder Alarm, things like that, you tap this, draw a card. Exile a card from your hand and put a number of time counters on it equal to its mana value. It gains when the last time counter is removed from this card. If it's exiled, you may cast it without paying its mana cost. If you cast a creature spell this way, it gains haste on a turn. Then you remove a time counter from each other card you own in exile. So this can very much snowball if you're able to tap it and untap it multiple times in a turn. Drawing putting something into exile, removing a counter. Untap, do it again. If the creatures entering the battlefield off of exile are causing this to untap, such as with Intruder Alarm, that could really just almost turn your deck in the right circumstances. So very, very cool. It's also just a cool Simic value commander in general. So I'm really excited to see this. It's very cool. Reminds me of, like, I don't know, Rashmi, other really iconic green-blue commanders. We have Owlbear Cub. It's a 3-mana 3/3. Mama's coming. Whenever Owlbear Cub attacks a player who controls 8 or more lands, look at the top 8 cards of your library. You may put a creature card from among them onto the battlefield tapped, attacking that player. Put the rest on the bottom of the library in random order. Pretty cool. I think this is a very strong card. You play with it right, you can go very far. Get really big creatures out of your library for free. You got a foil lightning bolt. No complaints there. I like this art better than the other one, I think. And with that, we have our last pack. So we're not getting the full set of Battle Bond lands, although it seemed like it in the very first few packs that we would have. But I think we very much potentially could still get some cool stuff right here. Ooh, it's very weird damage right there. It's fine though. Kind of just on the commons. As long as it's on the commons, not a big deal. Let's see what we get. So get this guy again. And we have a Showcase Master Chef and Traverse the Outlands again. Okay, so 2 copies of Traverse the Outland. That's very interesting. Yeah, not horrible. Not a bad thing to have. And yeah, well, that is that. And we're back to just kind of go over everything one last time. Here are some of the common, uncommon, cool reprints and stuff that we pulled aside. I guess a lightning bolt and stuff like that. We got some of our list cards. I guess Graveworm Muse is probably our better hit from that. We got our full etch cards. We have Ball, one of the more interesting ones. Jaheira is one of them. We got Aaaaand. We got Dynahair and Nine Fingers Keen. I'm gonna go over the rares. Let's see, we got the Mirror Life Trapping. We have Monster Manual, got to play yourselves. This Intellect Devour, that was a foil that I kind of skipped over, but that's okay. We got Traverse the Outlands, Owlbear Cub. That was uncommon. But we have foil Showcase Raphael, another Traverse Outlands, the 3 Battle Bond lands, another Raphael. We got a Bane Showcase non-foil, and we got Basilisk Collar. And without further ado, we have the 4 mythics. We got Baldur, Ancient Copper Dragon, Ancient Gold Dragon, and Minsk and Boo. I think these are actually really good mythics. I think for this set, this is, I guess, some of the better ones. I think maybe the blue one or the Font of Magic might be kind of desirable, but I think I'm very happy with these Battle Bond lands and etc. Well, that is my opening for Commander Legends. I think there's probably not going to be a ton of openings for this set, seeing as Double Masters 2022 is coming out and just next month, so obviously myself and a lot of others are really waiting for that. But I definitely wanted to give this set a try, considering all the buzz and talk about it. And I don't know, I'm pretty happy with my box. No major complaints, other than, I guess, I don't know, the bottom of the cards occasionally had a bit of scratching, but you know, that's honestly very normal at this point. Well, if you made it this far, thank you very much for watching, and bye.